to know the client and for him to know himself and to know the employment target. Without that knowledge, it's nearly impossible to craft a effective strategy for the resume. And I've often told clients when, you know, they'll come to you, I bet you've all had a client, I need a resume, well, what do you do? I don't know yet. And I tell them, you know, that's a little bit like walking into an advertising agency and saying, I've started this wonderful new company and I need you to design a website and a marketing brochure for me. And the ad agency says, I'd love to do that for you. I'm very talented in that area. What does your company do? Well, I don't know yet, but if you design a website for me and a marketing brochure and I send it out to enough people, somebody will figure out what I do and then they'll call and tell me. I see nodding. Yes, you've run into these clients before. So it's getting them to understand that. And when you're teaching resume writing classes, I think that's always one of the first things you want to help them get their mind around. So some of the tools that you can use in helping plan your strategy, some of the things that I use, obviously the current resume. You're going to want to look at that, and one of the first things I'll have my clients do is identify what task and knowledge you want to take to your next job. What things on this resume did you really enjoy doing that we want to continue to talk about in your new resume? What did you hate doing? What did you really struggle with? If there's something that they hated doing, then it truly should not be on the resume. But a lot of times, it's still there. And I'm sure you also have found that clients become very bonded to what's in their resume, and they're fearful if they leave something out that, you know, they're going to get in trouble, especially if they're a little bit older. And then identify any red flags, anything that might work against the client.